This is Mitch Panter with the law firm of Panter Sampedro, and I want to talk a little bit about the Astroworld concert and the Travis Scott situation and what happened in the last week or so. It appears as if the concert was a disaster. Whether it was a disaster from day one, prior to the concert, or simply at the concert will be discovered. Already there have been several lawsuits that have been filed, and I want to tell you a little bit about who we believe to be responsible and or liable. Obviously, the first person that's going to be responsible, or the first target, if you will, defendant in the case, is going to be Travis Scott himself. It's our understanding, and again, I'm not active in the case and I don't know anything specifically about it, but generally speaking, if Travis Scott knew or should have known that his concert was going to create a dangerous condition, something should have been done. From watching the news, it appears as if at least the Harris County, Texas people knew that this was a potential problem and did have discussions with him before the concert. Several people to look to in terms of responsibility are the following. Obviously, Travis Scott, and if he has a personal or corporation that was involved in the production, in the security, in the maintenance, in setting up the concert, in selling the tickets, and being involved with the security, those are people that are going to be responsible, and those are going to be your first targets available. Live Nation is what's called a promoter. So as a promoter, they have a duty and obligation to ensure the safety of the crowd. They too will be responsible. It's clear that there was security company or companies or different types of security that were in charge of this particular event. They too would be responsible. Did they know that there was going to be a problem? Did they know that there was going to be the potential for serious injury? My understanding is that originally the plan was for there to be several 100,000 people or more, and they did reduce it down to 50,000. My understanding is that there were discussions had with Travis Scott and his team, as well as the Harris County officials beforehand, knowing that there might be a problem, and to make sure and to try to do their best, I guess, to prevent there from being problems. Likewise, Harris County themselves, the owners of the property, the people that gave permission, the people that gave the authority for the concert to be had, they might be responsible as well. I think I mentioned already the security contractor would be responsible. But looking at it another angle, I kind of don't understand why a 10-year-old and other very young children were at this concert, and I don't know whether they were supervised or not, but a potential exists for the parents of these minor children for allowing their children to exist and to be at the property, at the premises for this potentially dangerous concert. Likewise, the people that were at the concert themselves that were crammed into the front, it's called, at least in the state of Florida, comparative or contributory negligence. Maybe they knew or should have known that there was a potential for danger and shouldn't have been there. So there's plenty of blame to go around, and what's going to happen now is lawsuits, not just one, but lawsuits will be filed. When the lawsuits are filed, there will also be what's called discovery. Questions that will be asked, either in written format or depositions. And one of the things that I saw already taking place is what's called an injunction. An injunction is when a party goes in through the lawyer and says, I want to stop something or I want to request something. And an injunction has already been made to get the photographs, the videotape, to secure the scene, to make sure that all of the evidence which exists in this case is preserved. Because it's going to be important to do that. I guarantee you that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of people that were there with their cell phones taking pictures, taking videos, and all of that information will be readily available, and it's important to make sure that that's preserved so that as the lawsuits go on and as people are held accountable, we have the information, we have the data. There will be civil and there will be criminal investigations. A criminal investigation will make a determination based upon the laws as it exists from a criminal perspective, and then the civil perspective as well. The civil will be damages that are sustained. There are several people that were killed, and so they will have what's called a wrongful death claim. There will be injuries that are occurred. I've read also that in addition to the people that were actually physically hurt, there were others that were traumatically injured that are going to have psychological injuries because they either saw people dying in front of them, they tried to help people, and there are different laws that apply with regards to that. I think the biggest takeaway is that we as a people have a duty to protect ourselves. We have a duty to make sure that we're in the right place at the right time, make sure we are doing the right thing, and not presenting or putting ourselves in a position of danger. As a parent, I feel for the loss that these people sustained and suffered. I also think it's a wake-up call for other parents to make sure that their children are safe. I think for the Travis Scott family, for the Travis Scott people, for their corporation, for their business, this should be a wake-up call to them as well, to make sure that they have a safe, secure environment and do what they can to protect people. We will all know in the weeks and months and years to come exactly what's going to happen, but these are our thoughts with regards to this. And if you have any questions about responsibility or negligence, feel free to call us. Again, Panter, Sampedro's law firm dedicated to protecting Florida's families.